In the next hour, we want to put a smile on your face, elevate your endorphins, and bring you happiness. Welcome to Say Yes, Be Happy with Nathalie Botros. We spend so much of our lives chasing happiness, it might just be where you least expect it to be. Nathalie and her guests are going to show you how and where to find it. And now, your host, Nathalie Botros.
Hi, everyone. I'm Nathalie Botros, your host. Welcome to my show, Say Yes, Be Happy, where each week we talk about happy, the silver lining in every aspect of our life. And my guests are like each week one more amazing than the other one. This week, we're going to talk about astrology. We're going to talk about what 2021 and 2022 is going to show us, because like we all know that we've been in such a crazy year and a half, and I think we need some good news. And I have a special guest for that. So let me talk to you about my guest. She is an internationally known author, columnist, entrepreneur, publisher, and pioneer of the internet. She is the founder of Astrology Zone, so I'm sure you already know who she is, which she debuted in December 1995. Her site is considered as an authority in the field of Western astrology and is read avidly by 11.5 million readers per year. She is the author of 12 astrology books, the ever-popular The Year Ahead astrology calendars, and writes monthly columns for 6 international fashion magazines. Please welcome my guest, Susan Miller. Hi, Susan.
Oh, hello, Nathalie. How exciting this is. Thank you.
I'm like, I cannot believe that you're on my show. I'm very happy because like I have, we should have like a show 101 with you. So I'll only ask you my own questions, but we're going to have a lot of questions. So let's start from the beginning. How everything started. I mean, how did you decide to be an astrologist?
Well, I never did. My mom knew astrology and was quite a scholar. Before I was born, she had taken a correspondence class. Her sister also did it with her. And you would get the lessons, and then you'd have to answer the questions and send it back to California. We were always in New York City, my family. And she got really good. She didn't want to study it. Her sister, my aunt, talked her into it. She said, Erica, you are good with the math, because their father was an engineer, but apparently Aunt Harriet was not good with math. And when my mother said, I don't want to study astrology, are you crazy? She said, Erica, if you don't study it, I can't do the charts. And she started to cry. So my mother said, okay, I love you. I will do it. And my mother was moving to New York. She was 18. They were in a small town. So they had planned to study something and call each other on the telephone to do their homework together. My mother got brilliant at it. And but I was nowhere near born yet. But my mother kept studying even after the course was over. And I was born with a terrible birth defect. I mean, it was excruciatingly painful. And the doctors didn't know what was wrong with me. And many times when you go to the doctor and they have no idea what's wrong with you, they say it's your fault. You're psychosomatic. You are making it up. You are pretending. Yeah. And that was horrible. Especially I was a child, and the doctors are yelling at me. But my mother always knew something was wrong, because when I would get an attack, I would feel like something thick, like chocolate syrup, was falling from my hip into my knee, and everything inside would shake. And I would have to go to bed for 8 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks, not move an inch. She would change the sheets with me in the bed, and she would be very, very careful not to shake the bed too much. She would be very slow and careful. I mean, I went through this once a year. Pretty much once a year, I would get an attack. So I couldn't travel, couldn't go to camp. I couldn't even be in school activities that required a lot of movement. You know, like Maypo Day with dancing and everything. Yeah. They kept me out of that. I had to stand with the bad children, the delinquent children. You stand over there.
With the delinquent.
Oh my gosh. But when I was 4, she told me, this will go away. She said, the good ends, but the bad ends too. And this will end. And I said, I don't think so, Mama. This is a big deal. She said, no, I know by astrology when you're 14, it will end. Now, of course, she was my mother. She was just hoping it would just disappear. But I got the biggest attack of my life at 13 and 11 months. And I went to one doctor who made the situation even worse. I mean, I had to go in an ambulance, and he was terrible. And so my father had to check me out of the hospital. And my mother said, we have to get a doctor who understands this, somebody we trust. So my father had been collecting names from people he knew. And so we went to the chief of staff of the Hospital for Joint Diseases, part of Langone, NYU, Langone. And he was very nice to me. He didn't yell at me. And he said, I will give you many tests. You stay in the hospital. Well, I was in for a week and nothing. He couldn't find anything. They didn't have the right equipment then. They have it now. And a lot of the equipment they have now is much advanced in the past 10 years. So he said, we have to go in and look. I said, okay, I'm okay with that. But I knew it would be the biggest operation of my life. And I even said to my mother, next Tuesday is the worst day of my life. She said, but today's Wednesday. That's a week away. Why would you say that? I said, I don't know. And I don't pretend to be psychic. I said, I don't know, but I know like I know my name. So doctor walks in, he said, okay, we're going to do the operation. I've scheduled it. I said, tomorrow? And he said, I can't get an operating room until Tuesday. And my mother reacted a little bit. He said, what just happened? And she told him, and he said, do you want me to change it? And I said, no, it's my destiny.
Wow.
It's all right. My destiny. It's all right. I think you have to live life with courage. You can't be afraid of things. You just have to do
Go
it.
for it. Yeah.
Yeah. And when they went in, they found out I was bleeding internally, and that the veins and arteries were wrapped around nerves, running through muscles, squiggled up like spaghetti. They were totally malformed. Something had gone wrong when my mother was in her 5th month. And they had no history of anybody else with this except a few people, but they had it in the upper body. And they said, you're so lucky. With the leg, we could tourniquet it, but in the head, one bleed and that's it. Or your heart, one bleed, you're over. But they had to tourniquet me so tightly that from the knee down, I lost all feeling and control of my leg. I was kind of paralyzed. I couldn't move my toes or anything. And he said, all right, we're going to work on that. I think we can get it back, but it will take a lot of physical therapy. But first we have to work on this bleeding nightmare that you were born with. And I was in the hospital 11 months.
Oh my God.
And I had skipped the 8th grade before, I was 14 by this point. I had skipped the 8th grade. So people always say the wrong thing when you're in a crisis. Like, oh, you could take a year off. No, that was a hard year.
Yeah.
I worked really hard to skip the 8th grade. The school thought I was a good student for it. And but you had to do double the work. It was hard. So she said, no, I'm not going to take a year off. And I took my lessons in the hospital. The Board of Education works with children like that. So finally I got to go home, but then I had to go to physical therapy every day for 6 days a week, 5 days a week, but they worked on a different part of the leg. And they also had to bend the knee.
Wow.
Until it bled. They put you in a swimming pool to do that. And it was hard. And I wanted to know at the end of this, because I had a brace on my leg up to my hip made out of metal, and I had 2 crutches. Would I look like you at the end of this? Would I look like everybody else? That's all I wanted. I just wanted to be normal. And my mother was such an inspiration. She would come to the hospital almost every day. And when you go to visit a patient, you should never wear black or brown.
Okay.
You should wear happy
colors.
And she wore beautiful pastels every day, little shirtwaist dresses. And she looked so happy. And she'd say, Susie, when we can break you out of jail, when she considered the hospital, you're going to have so many pretty dresses, and you're going to be able to go to parties and travel for the first time in your life, because I could never leave far from home because I would get an attack. And I remember her saying, now remember, I'm 14. What do you say to a 14-year-old girl? You have so many shoes lined up against the wall. Which shoes will I wear today? And oh my gosh, she was painting a beautiful picture of the future. So nice. So if you visit a patient in the hospital, don't say, how is the pain? No. Talk about the future, like getting well, being able to enjoy life again. Yeah. My mother was that. And so she wouldn't teach me astrology though. When I got
home, you got it by your, like you taught yourself. By the way, I just see on the side that we have already 3 callers waiting for you.
Well, yeah, but the point is, my mother wouldn't teach me astrology because she said a little knowledge is dangerous. And right now, astrology is very popular on the internet. Mm-hmm. And there are people, let's say a girl was an actress. Well, that's not working out. Nobody's calling me. Okay, today I'm an astrologer. It doesn't work that way. You have to really study. She said, you must study for 12 years or you will not be any good. And unless you promise that, I am not going to start. And you're going to read for your friends. And you're not going to know what you're talking about. And I said, I don't have any friends. I don't go to school. My friends are sick of me being sick. I don't have any friends. Do you see anybody coming over? Nobody comes. Yeah. So she finally did teach me, because kids, they never stop asking, when they get a bee in their bonnet. And I did study for the 12 years and not tell a single person while I was studying. I waited just until recently, 20 years before I charged for a chart. I'm very careful.
So you studied 12 years.
12 years with my mother, but I kept still.
Of course, you keep learning, I presume. Yeah.
I'm sorry, what?
I think you keep learning even today. I'm sure you keep discovering, learning. It's
Life
that's the beauty of it.
Big laboratory.
Yeah.
And you must watch what happens when the aspects come. And maybe even make little notes on your calendar. The eclipses are particularly powerful.
Yeah. So we're going to cover all that. Before everything, I have someone who apparently started calling even before the show, Ginger in Atlanta. So let's have Ginger on the line.
Oh, wow. Oh.
Hello.
Hi, Ginger.
So happy. Hello. Oh my gosh, this is such a pleasure. It's so happy to meet you both. Oh my gosh, Susan, you're such a gift. Your care just shines through in everything you do. This is such an honor. I just want to kind of give my well wishes and condolences to you and all the things that you mastered. You're just such a living testimony of living your passions and being grateful. I don't know if the show is opening it up for readings, but I'm a Taurus, and I wanted to know if you had any words for what to look out for the remaining few months for this year, and what might be upcoming for someone.
Well, right now, Taurus, right now, what day is your birthday exactly? Just
May 3rd.
Month and year, that's all. May 3rd, okay.
May 3rd, yeah.
Yeah, your life is undergoing a lot of change, but your career is on fire. What kind of work do you do?
Well, I actually just left the career, and now I'm getting into voiceover work and yoga instruction, and I love it so much.
Because of the influence of Aquarius in your solar 10th house, try to find a digital component to your work. Maybe you'll want to teach people yoga online, or have classes that people can come to, or write an ebook, or, yoga has a lot of philosophical additions to it. And maybe you want to show people what that is and teach them. But there is a lot of digital influence in your life. And this is the biggest career of your life. I don't want you thinking about fun and romance. I want you working this year. You will not have this again for 12 years, and you're halfway through the year. You have to, well, see, the fact that you broke away from your old job is showing that this is having an influence. What was your old job?
I used to work in the arts. I used to work in a museum.
Oh, that's nice too, though. I think you might miss some of that. That's maybe you keep a finger in that pie, but that tells me you're very right brain. We're either left brain or right brain. I tend to be both because the writing is left brain, but visuals mean everything to me. I was an agent for commercial photographers before I went full-time into astrology. So I would always estimate the jobs for advertising agencies for my photographers that I represented, and they were high-priced, thoroughbred photographers. That we had Coca-Cola, Mercedes-Benz, Cheerios. We had, big clients. And so I'd work with the ad agencies. But it was time to incorporate this idea to give me a website. They came to me. Astrology chose me. I didn't. It came to me on a silver platter. But they wanted me to write something short for women every day. And I wanted to write something long for men and women every month. And they thought I was crazy because of the birth of the internet. They said, oh, you should only write very little, like 300 or 500 words. And in this case, they wanted me to write 50 words every day for every sign. And I said, well, first of all, no. I said, I want to change the world, and I can't do it at 50 words per sign. And they're looking at me like, whoa. So don't ever be afraid of disagreeing in an interview. If you have a better idea. I had nothing to lose. I liked the people. I was very polite and very sweet to them. But I said, no, I need to be long. And they said, well, how long? I said 17,000 words a month. Now, they thought that was a lot, divided by 12 signs. They said, won't you get tired? I said, tired? Me get tired? No, I won't get tired. I wasn't born with family money or anything like that, family connections. No, but I have energy. Now I'm writing 40,000 words a month.
That's
much
crazy.
More than I had promised. So I got more energy as I went along.
Yes.
So I hope she answered
about maybe having a TV show or an internet show or something. I think it has to be visual, though. It can't be a podcast. It has to be visual because of your background in art. But, no, they
don't want to let me go, actually.
So see what happens. Okay. And this is your passion. You quit your job for this. So that means you really care, And Taurus is very hard to get them to change anything. Once they're on.
I know.
But that's good. I mean, you did change. You weren't
I'm a
fully
Libra.
satisfied before. So this tells me a lot,
Yes. I really, really appreciate this. It actually is in alignment for information I literally received yesterday. So I'm doing it. I really appreciate you. Such a pleasure to actually have the opportunity to talk to you. Oh my gosh. This is just great. Thank you so much for offering this. Yes.
Everybody take care for calling.
There's a full moon
Thank
this
you.
month. There's a full moon this month in Aquarius. Later this month, I think on the 22nd. I'd have to look it up because I've been writing October all night. I was up until 4 o'clock in the morning. So sometimes when I'm working on a different month for a fashion magazine, I can't remember this month.
Yeah.
But I write a calendar, and if any of your listeners don't have it, it's on sale right now for $9.95
On your website.
$9.99. Yeah, it's only available on the website. But I write every word, and you can see what's coming up. And see, here's August. She's very sexy, isn't she? She's a Latina girl. And here are the most important days. And this is a blueprint for you. And let's see, when is the full moon? Oh, yeah, it is the 22nd. And it's a gorgeous one because it's conjunct Jupiter. And it's in our Taurus's friends, House of Fame and Honors. So there is something coming to this lovely girl who just asked me the question. I'm kind of excited. Go back and read my August forecast on astrologyzone.com. By the way, I have a free app. It's not secure to go on the internet on your phone, whether it's Safari or Firefox or whatever browser you have on the phone. It is secure on a desktop or laptop. That's the reason I give you a free app. There's a free one, and then if you want more, then you pay $4.99 a month, but you don't have to. Most people like my monthly, and it's on the free one, and it's uncut. Just put in Susan Miller in the Apple App Store or Google Play. You'll see me wearing a white blouse. And I had to put my picture on it because people were pretending to be me.
That's crazy.
It's
it's normal, you know, you're a celebrity. So people are trying to copy you and then like to, the cats.
So the whole name is called Daily Horoscope Astrology Zone and
Perfect.
More by Susan Miller. That's too much to type. Just put in Susan Miller. I come up right away. There's somebody above my head who's paying a lot to be on above me, but you'll see the white blouse. And that's me.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Ginger. I don't know if you're still here.
Oh, Ginger, we're going to be reading
I
about you.
am.
Times,
okay, so thank you, Ginger. We have other callers too. Let's give them some time to ask their questions.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Have a fantastic day. So talking about the full moon, you said on the 22nd. Do you have any, before getting the other callers,
day.
any tips, you know, like how do we have to chant during the full moon?
Oh,
do we have to do cleansing?
I am not fuzzy blue. No, you don't chant. You don't make these silly. No. I'm sorry, but that's too California for me. I'm a practical New Yorker. No way.
Okay, that's my kind of woman.
Know what you want to achieve, of course. But this business of setting an intention and burning a fire, it's not me. I'm practical.
So what shall we do?
I mean, is going to work for you or not. That new moon falls in the house of friendship for Aries. Maybe they want to join a new social media. Like if they've never been on Twitter. Twitter's my favorite. I love Twitter. But I'm on Instagram too, at Astrology Zone. That's my name on those. But now I'm on Clubhouse, which is audio. Yeah. And I'm new at it. I only had 2 so far. I do 1 a month. I was on 5.5 hours. Oh my gosh, on Friday. We're not going to do 5. I told
no, we have only an hour.
5.5 hours. I couldn't even lift my arm when I got off. And I made a little dinner when I got off. I was hungry, you know. But it's good to try different platforms because you'll make some nice friends. And Twitter is more about ideas and Instagram is more about fashion. And I love fashion. But lately it's, all right, should I be honest with you? Too many girls wiggling in front of the camera. too many egos, and then they take a product and TikTok it in front of their face, and it's getting to me. It's getting me crazy. Maybe I'm following the wrong people, but it, it's a little too much. A beautiful girl is beautiful until she thinks she's beautiful, and then she loses all the charm, all the beauty.
Yeah, but so on the full moon, we should like kind of open a new account on Twitter.
Well,
and
only
then,
Aries.
Only Aries. Okay.
Taurus
so I have a caller
happening with their career. Gemini has something maybe with a book or a screenplay they're writing, or a podcast, or something about immigration, passport, citizenship, green card, visa, something going on with that that's coming to a conclusion. A legal matter may come to a conclusion. I'm trying to think what else. Oh, and something with academia. So it's one of these things. It's not all of them. It could be two, but it's unlikely that it would be all of them. With Cancer, it's money, some nice money coming to them. And I'm happy to tell them that, because they've had such a hard time, the little Cancers. They've been really, really having a hard time. So money is coming in, and it's generous. So if they're in sales, they could make a big sale, but it could be your boss just loves you and decides to give you a nice raise or a bonus. Or your family could say, I know you want to buy a studio apartment. We're going to give you the down payment so you can make that dream a reality. You never know where the money's going to come from. I don't want you going to Las Vegas.
And Scorpio, someone is asking me Scorpio, anything with the full moon on Scorpio?
All the Scorpios are moving or making a decision about their home. And something big and good is happening within 5 days of August 22nd for Scorpio. All of them are moving. It's crazy. And if they're not moving, everybody I know are renovating or, buying new furniture. They're doing something. They have a vision board and they're upgrading. And this is the best year in 12 to do it.
That's
and this
amazing.
full moon is going to make them lucky. If you've been looking at apartments and they're all too small, dark, not close to your work, keep looking, because, could happen this month. This is going to be a big month. Let's see, Leo. Leo has something going on with a partner. Some of them are going to get engaged, maybe for their birthday. And maybe get married this month. It's a good time. Mercury's not retrograde, Venus is not retrograde, and Mars is not retrograde. But I actually want to make this point. Write this down if you're listening. Yeah, you need to have these dates. At the end of the year, Venus is going to retrograde.
Susan, I'm sorry. We have to take like our first break, and then we'll come back after, because they're like, I have callers waiting. Sorry, callers. Like, we have so much to talk. We're going to take you after the break. We're going to take a short break. We're talking with Susan Miller about astrology, and we can see that she's passionate about it. And she was just pointing us everything that's going to happen on the next full moon on August 22nd. We will be back just after this little break.
You're listening to Say Yes, Be Happy. To reach our show today, we invite you to phone in to 1-866-472-5788. That's 1-866-472-5788. Or send an email to bvg@thebon-vivantgirl.com. Now, back to Say Yes, Be Happy.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm Nathalie Botros. I'm talking with Susan Miller about astrology, about our signs, and what's the predictions that we have that gets from the astrology. Just before the break, we were talking about the full moon. During the break, we just called the caller from Dubai, Susan.
Oh, Dubai?
From Dubai.
Wow.
So let's take her, and then we can continue with all the signs and the coming up full moon and the effects on astrological signs.
Okay.
Hi, Anne.
Hi, how are you?
Fine, and you?
Good, in the heat, but loving it. So, guys, you look amazing.
Thank you. So what is your question?
I just want to know about What's going to happen with Capricorn next year?
No. We have to have, okay, here's the rules. It has to be a specific question. You know, some people say, how will we have world peace? Oh, no, that would take me 5 hours. Or what's happening with Capricorn? I'm very detailed. That would take me 3 hours. No, you will be bored and saying, wait a minute, I'm falling asleep. So no, I must have a very specific question.
Is it love life, business life? Like, what do you want to know about
business life? Business life.
Oh, business, money. Have you ever seen my website, Astrology Zone? I've been saying that diamonds are falling into your second house of earned income. You have spectacular aspects for good salary and lots of money coming in. And are you in a financial job? What kind of work do you do?
I used to be. Now I'm working on my own. I run a few projects and businesses. So I think everything is looking fine.
I'm going to hit it. I think you're making a conclusion this month.
I think so too, but I wasn't sure.
This full moon is so good that it's one of the very best of the whole year. And we haven't had anything this spectacular in a long time. Everyone listening will see something good within 5 days. 5 days after the full moon, or maybe 2 days before the full moon, but usually it's on the full moon or within 5 days. And there's money coming to you. You know, it's funny, I did some research and to say in my column, money is good, I think that's kind of boring. I wanted to say it in a way my Capricorn readers would pay attention. So I was doing research on Jupiter and Saturn because they're both in your second house. And look what I found. The BBC said scientists used to think that the atmosphere of Jupiter and Saturn were all wrong to create carbon. And carbon creates diamonds. And they said, we have to change that opinion. It's perfect for that. So they said it's raining carbon. Now, all right, we're doing poetic license. We don't have Tiffany's or Cartier on Jupiter and Saturn yet.
Maybe soon.
But they're just keep that image of raining diamonds, Capricorn, and get your reward because this is the year.
That's amazing.
Yeah, because I've been working extremely hard the last few years. So
you're getting all the fruits of your hard work.
When they have a goal, they would go through a brick wall. They're like Aries. You're a cardinal sign. You are a leader. And people are inspired by your work ethic. Yeah, no, it's all good. I'm so happy to have good news for you.
Exactly. And then thank you very much.
You guys are amazing again.
Thank you. And anybody in Dubai wants me to come, send me a ticket and let's do something, a show.
We'll do that. I'll organize that
anytime.
With you. Good. I would go
Perfect.
in a minute. I live not too far from JFK Airport.
That's perfect.
I got the message. Got it.
Bye, Anne. Thank you so much. So, Susan, we have 2 more callers. Thank you so much, Anne, for calling. So we have Terry from Connecticut who has a question for you.
Hi, Terry.
Hello.
Hi, Susan. Hi, Nathalie. Thank you for hosting this. And Susan, thank you for taking the time. I have been so excited for this. I have a really interesting situation. I learned at age 45 that I was adopted. And
wow.
both my parents were deceased when I learned. So all the people that had any answers were dead. So anyway, with the modern world, of course, DNA, I have since found my birth mother and connected with family.
You found her?
Yes,
amazing
she's
story.
still alive.
How long ago?
In 2016.
Okay.
She doesn't want to have a relationship with me anymore.
Did you find her through social media?
No, I found her on 23andMe. A cousin did 23andMe and matched us, and I'm I have great relationship with my cousin. I have great relationship with my aunt, who is my mother's half sister. But my mother did talk to me in the beginning, but then she didn't. I think it was just too overwhelming. I mean, the fact that you've given up a child. Yeah.
Giving up a baby is a big deal. She's probably still sad about it. And all those years.
Well, and she was getting asked a lot of questions, because all of a sudden it's like, oh, you have a family member you never had. So she was getting asked a lot of questions, and I think it made her uncomfortable.
For some people it is, but it's very good to know your birth mother just from a health standpoint. What is the family health history? You know how they ask you that when you go to the doctor all the time. They ask you a million
Absolutely.
questions.
Yeah, and of course, all those years I was answering based upon thinking I had, a birth mother and didn't. But since I joined Ancestry last year, I've now found my birth father.
Oh my
now he
God.
is deceased.
Wait a minute. What sign are you?
I'm a triple Aquarian, so I'm Sun, Moon, and Rising Aquarius.
You had to wait for high technology, because everything with Aquarius is high technology, to find your birth parents. So wait, where is your father located? Anywhere near you?
Well, so he's deceased. He died in actually the 80s, and he never knew anything about me. Like, because my mother had a one-night stand. And so they did not have a relationship. This was the 60s. I was born in the 60s, everyone. So, people were doing things, and no right or wrong. But I was a love child.
But you were born.
And anyway.
You got life. Your mother went through it.
I was a blessing to my adoptive parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, things were changing in the 60s, but not so much, where society was still in two places, so it took a lot of bravery for her to have the baby.
Yes. So my question though is, because even though my birth father is deceased, I have 4 half sisters now, and I've not reached out to them, even though I have phone numbers for all of them. But I wanted to check with you on the aspects, because you can imagine getting a call from somebody, telling you that you're related, and they're like, who the heck are you? And I want to have, before I make the call, I want to have the best aspects that I can. And I read your monthly for August, and it said, the new moon was a little trepidatious. So I'm wondering, is the full moon better? But I know.
Oh, definitely.
The full moon is good?
Yeah, it's in Aquarius. What day is your birthday?
Yeah.
Are you
January
born like
29th.
February 16th or something like that?
January 29th.
Oh, you're early. Oh my gosh. Last birthday, we look at the solar return, and you had Jupiter conjunct the sun. And your whole year was going to be rinsed in gold. I don't think you have anything to lose by calling each person separately and, politely and quietly, and say, we are related, and I would love to talk to you. You're going to know right away in the first 5 minutes if that person wants to talk to you or not. So, but chances are, out of 4 people, maybe 2 of them at least will, and you can share experiences and find out their birthdays and their professions. You may start to see a pattern through the family. Like my father's brother studied accounting and became a certified public accountant way back when. And he had 4 children, and they all were good in math. One of them works for the Federal Reserve Bank. And so you may start to see some kind of talent, a thread that runs through the family. So I think you should go ahead and do it. And I would do it right near that full moon, because you'll get a quick answer. You'll get a quick response, and you've got Jupiter protecting you. And you're not going to have anything like this again for 12 years.
So August 22nd. I
think your angels wanted you to know that, to put us together.
That's
I'm so
amazing.
excited. Now I'm going to be thinking about you. See, people think I sign off later and I forget about it. No, I start worrying about you. So you have to write.
Terry sent me
to
an
us.
email before she was the person who I told you about before the show. So Terry, please keep us posted, and I will let
Yeah,
Susan
we
know
want to know
about
what
it.
happens.
Yes, we want to know.
I will let you guys know. And thank
Good
you again
luck.
so much for doing this. Thanks. Bye.
Have a good day. Bye-bye. So now
Natalie,
we have...
this is a movie, isn't it? This
I
is
know.
a movie script. I love it.
Really, we should make a movie of it.
Yes.
So talking about Natalie, I have Natalie in Brooklyn who's been waiting for the last half an hour to talk to you, and she has questions too. I don't know if she's still online. Natalie, are you there?
Yes. Hi, I'm here.
Hello.
Hi.
Thank you for your patience.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. This is such an honor. Thank you.
What's your question?
Love, and look forward. I look forward to your column every month. Every month I sit and wait.
Thank you.
My question is, thank you for everything you do. Thank you. I'm a Gemini. May 21st is my birthday. I wanted to know what you see for, I am in the courts for a while now, a divorce situation for almost 2 years. I want to know
you're in the process of a divorce?
Process of a divorce in the courts, yeah. So I want to know if you see any hope for something coming to a resolution soon with, for Gemini.
Is your former partner dragging things out? Is that the problem?
Yes, dragging things out, yes. Yeah.
Oh, I wish you could come to a conclusion before Mercury goes retrograde on September 27th to October 18th. Now, Mars right now, I think, is in Virgo. That's actually a good spot for you. Is there one point that there seems to be difficulty over? Let me see. Where do you have Saturn? You have Saturn in Aquarius. Well, that's the courts. Well, Saturn's
stuck a while, you think? It's been a while.
It has. Is it property? Is it children? What is it? Do you know?
Children.
Or is it just
the property is gone? It's a combination. It was property. The property just went about a month ago. Now it's custody and support. Yeah, and the pandemic doesn't help. So
see, the pandemic put all court cases on ice, and so people are waiting. People are waiting so long that they're finally just settling. And you have to give him a little incentive. You know, tell him to protect your credit rating. If I go shopping and we're still married, you may have to foot the bill. So that would be kind of a bad idea. Why don't we just wrap this up? You know, you have to give him some kind of reason to detangle. You know, it sounds like he's emotional. There's part of him that wants to and part of him that doesn't want to get divorced. What sign is he? Because I need to know that.
Aries, April 19th. I think it's in Aries.
Oh, that's my daughter's birthday. Oh,
nice.
Well, it would have been good, you know, but you're born early Gemini. You're born in May.
Yes.
He's born the latest that there could possibly be in Aries. He's just hours away from Taurus, and Taurus can be a little fixed. You know, when they get a thought in their idea, it's like getting little Fernando the bull to stop smelling the flowers and come back home. But Fernando the bull doesn't want to do that. He's like, I'll do it in my own time, you know? And so you have that. So the only way you can get him to move along is to make him think it's his idea. So, you know, you said something that was very wise, and, you know, he's like looking at you, you know, and you said it was a good idea for tax purposes. You know, Taurus is interesting. On a Friday night, many people like to go out, maybe see friends. Taurus likes to pour a glass of wine at home and open their bank statements and admire how well they've done. And he's probably worked hard to build a nest egg, and the whole thought of splitting it with you is hard on him. So you have to give him tax reasons and financial reasons that it would be
Yes, it's
because
financial.
they're real. There are tax benefits to leaving. And are there children involved? Yes, you said there were.
Oh, one daughter. Yes.
Yeah.
One daughter, a young daughter, yes. 3 years old.
Oh my gosh.
3? Yeah.
Well, I got divorced, but it was very friendly. And I got all the decisions. I got all the custody. But I said, even though the legal papers say that, if you have an opinion, I want to hear it. These are our children. And I want the best for them. And I want them to love their father. If they don't, then they'll have trouble with men their whole life. So, there's the paper, but then there's the relationship. And maybe if you can relax him a little on that, were you going to send her back and forth? Well, I never did that. He didn't want that. He said they will sleep at home,
wants
but
that.
I will take them out during the day. Does he live far?
That's very decent. No, lives close by. That's very decent. That is my main concern, moving back and forth. And right now, because of the pandemic and everything,
sleeping at his house, sleeping at your house.
It's my bad.
I think just say, I'll give them a bath when they come home. Just maybe you give them dinner and have fun, take them out and then go for ice cream. But I'll bathe them and I'll just, and usually children like their mother to lay down with them, read them a story.
Yeah.
My children, I would try to wait until they were asleep. And the minute I would start tiptoeing out the door, they'd say, "Mommy."
That's so cute.
Yep.
I'm like, okay, I'm not going anywhere. I would lay down with them for 2 hours, but I wanted them to feel secure and happy. I gave them a lot of time, but we're so close. My mother said, the more you put into a child, the more you are benefiting, and it's worth it. But I don't know. Well, wait a minute. I shouldn't say that. All the eclipses are in Taurus and Scorpio, but they're going to be next year too. There's one on November 30th and but the one on December 4th is Sagittarius, but that's a little too far away for you. But it's right next to Governor Cuomo's birthday. He's leaving.
Okay.
Because
yes, I just heard. Yeah.
When you have an eclipse on your birthday or very close within 5 days, your life changes in one very appreciable way. Always watch the eclipses. Wow. On the front page of my website and on my app, I have the dates of the eclipses. And it goes up to 2030. And it goes as far back as 19, I think, I have to figure out how far back it goes, maybe 95, 94. But you can see what's coming. And it sounds like it'll take an eclipse to get out of this situation. Eclipse is just, it's almost, I imagine the universe watching from heaven, like, okay, I'll let them all do their thing. But if something's stagnating, the universe says, okay, enough of this. I have no patience. I have other people to help. I'm setting an eclipse.
Wow. Okay. So I got to look for an eclipse close to my birthday.
Yeah. Does he have a job?
Wow.
Is he doing well financially?
He does well. I have a job too. I mean, I think it's more, I don't even know, honestly, what I think he just likes to fight. He's an attorney and he loves to fight. So he's just trying to use his law degree.
Is he a matrimonial?
So he's trying to,
Is he a matrimonial attorney?
No, he's not. He's not matrimonial. No.
My brother-in-law is and has done all the big, Martha Stewart, Christy Brinkley, all the big ones.
Wow.
No, he never talks about them. No. Wow. If my sister didn't tell me a word, I wouldn't even know. And she wouldn't give any facts. We just did Robert De Niro's wife, Elizabeth. but
Oh.
they won't tell me anything
wow.
about it.
No.
Very, private. Yeah.
So I hope she kind of answered you. We're about to
I hope so.
Thank you.
Look at those eclipses. They work in retrograde fashion. So they start at the end of the sign and go early. So
Okay.
that's what you need. You need an early degree of the eclipse in Taurus right before it's ready to leave to go into the next sign. But I don't think that will happen until the end of 2022. But, you'll be able to tell, so the November 30th, well, that could be in Gemini. That's still, we have to wait until next year. Yeah. I wish I
Good
could
luck,
give you an
Natalie.
answer like tomorrow, but I can't,
Thank you. Thank
Thank you for calling, Natalie.
Thank you so much.
Have a great day.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Susan, the time flew. We're almost at the end of the show.
Oh, no,
I know. I mean, I have so many other questions from people, but we're kind of at the end. Just for all the listeners, you can find Susan on astrologyzone.com. And I remember when I was single, I would check my, my astrological sign, the good days for the heart, I will go on dates on those dates and it will work.
If you've never seen my site,
you should check it. It's full.
First.
Yeah.
You'll get a better sense of it if you go on your laptop first, because it's wider and you can see everything, because I have a lot of information on the front page.
Everything that you're asking, I mean, a lot of things, of course, now we had the chance to have her so she could answer specifically, but most of the things that you want to know, it's on the website. And she's one of the pioneers, actually. She's one of the first ones who created astrology website.
Well, I started in December 14th, 1995.
I mean,
by the way, if you forget the words Astrology Zone, just put Susan Miller in Google. I come up first. I know it's an easy name, but for some miracle, I come up first. Miller. So that's easier to remember for people.
Yeah. Susan, thank you so much for coming to my show. It was a big pleasure for me. Listeners, thank you for being.
Help us. It gives us patience. It helps us with our approach, like it did with that lovely young
Terry,
mother.
exactly.
It's a good thing.
I agree. So be all happy, healthy, positive. Look what Susan came, she thought that she didn't have, she's not going to be able to walk or do anything. And then look, she looks amazing. And then she's here helping us. So this is an amazing example. And she has shoes.
The silver lining was it opened my heart. It gave me compassion. I don't think I could write with the heart that I do. You have to be the judge, dear reader. But having gone through a crisis, it gives me a compassion and empathy for other people.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Susan. Bye, everyone, and have a fantastic week. And thank you for listening. Bye for now.
Thank you. I had fun. Thank you.
What do you have to lose? Say yes. Be happy.